Okay, Aquarius. All right, welcome to your August comprehensive. Start with the Three of Swords, which kind of signifies an overarching theme kind of energy. I feel like you've been here before. You've been in this position. Maybe you've wanted this thing for a long time. There's something very familiar coming through in these cards here, which is why there might be that tendency to lack faith a little bit, because maybe it didn't work out before. Maybe you didn't get what you wanted. But see, if you had gotten it before, I don't think you would have really been as grateful. You may think that you would have been as grateful, but there's something so sweet about overcoming an adversarial energy, right? Like, this is your adversary. This is your previous failure, or we can call it learning experience, right? This was your previous learning experience where things didn't work out. You were challenged. You pushed yourself. You worked hard, and it still fell flat. And I think there's been some resistance with your magic a little bit. Like I say, the spell has been cast. You cast it a long time ago. And I don't think that you've realized that it has been coming to fruition this whole time. You just didn't realize it because you had this experience with it. Like, let's use a romantic example, since the sun is in the 7th house for you guys this month. And you had the Mars-Venus conjunction last month, right? On the 13th of July in the 7th house. So you've asked for the most amazing partner to come in, love of your life, right? You want the love of your life to come in. But so far, relationships have not worked out. You have not met the love of your life. You have not gotten married. You have not taken those steps or made that commitment with someone yet. The reason for the past learning experiences or the past failures was because you needed to become the person that could handle a love like that. See what I mean? So this is a necessary event or series of events that had to happen, because if you got it right away, you wouldn't have appreciated it. We could use even the trust fund example, right? Your parents give you a huge trust fund and you never had to work a day in your life, so how can you possibly appreciate it? Do you see? So all of that was for this. The realization and the actualization of these things. Now, you are going to be successful. And what's interesting is that when I was kind of like looking through these cards, preparing for the comprehensive a little bit, I was, I feel like this was a long time coming. And I can't guarantee that it's going to happen like this month, because I think this dream has been in your life for a very, very long time. Maybe even since you were a kid, right? Leo season brings out this inner child, and a lot of memories of who we were as kids tend to surface. The way we used to play, the way we used to imagine, the way that everything was so fun and enjoyable, and there was all this curiosity, and there were all these like bursts of like life experience. But I do like this preparatory card, and these cards of what I'm feeling is victory mixed with this humility with the 9 of Cups reversed, and like real humility, because this 3 of Swords has humbled you in a good way, not in like an arrogant, like, oh, look how humble I am kind of way, but like real humility. You have been humbled at how difficult something is. You've been shown. But just because you know how hard it is doesn't mean the desire goes away, does it? So the desire's there, the humility is there, but you look out in the world and I don't think it looks promising. I don't know that you're perceiving promise, right? Because a love of your life, right? Well, where are they? You might be dating on a dating app, swipe, swipe, swipe. No. Left, 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 left. Where are they? What's going on? I would recommend a cease and desist. All activity in this regard. Cease and desist and just live and let lie. Can I be super cheesy with all that, with the little sayings, the little cliche sayings there? Because the universe is very organized. It's much more organized than you are. And right now, things are according to plan, 3 of coins. Things are following the blueprint to a T. You can't see the blueprint, and you may be stressed and freaked out that it might not happen. But again, just because you cannot think how this is going, you can't figure it out in your head, doesn't mean it's not happening. You're going to perceive a huge imbalance here. Let's say your big pot of gold dream is to own like a multi-billion-dollar corporation or something. Whatever. I'm going to be really silly with the example. Okay, you want to own this multi-billion-dollar corporation. And I'm telling you to cease and desist all activity. How is that even going to be possible, right? You can't build something like that and do nothing. You have to actually exert some action, right? Well, I feel like this hiatus time, it's not really doing nothing. It's allowing this inner guidance, this sun energy, to speak more clearly, to get more in tune with what your soul is really saying. And there could be a brilliant idea that sparks. Okay, Uranus goes retrograde. There's a lot of innovation, a lot of inventiveness that happens when a planet like Uranus, or specifically Uranus, goes retrograde. Because it internalizes the Uranian energy. And brainstorming can be incredible, and you can have so many ideas. Ideas that you couldn't have if you were like racking your brain, like think, I gotta figure it out. No, like let the idea just come, because we all know that that's what ideas do anyway. That, you can sit there all day long, like in college with some like high level math problem. You can sit there and freaking work on it for 3 days straight and not be able to come up with the solution. And then one day you'll be shopping in the grocery store, picking up a grapefruit, and then all of a sudden, boom, it hits you and you figure it out. So you might as well just save yourself the trouble and just open yourself up for that bolt of lightning, brilliant idea. Because the sun doesn't want to waste time with all the work, right? Work is Saturn. The sun is going to win. It doesn't want to do the work. All right? Put down the magic wand. Here's the stress. Here's what I was just talking about, the 7 of Wands. And see, you're going to have to like protect the idea of not really doing anything. You're going to have to protect your limbo or your rest and rejuvenation or your meditation and contemplation period, right? You have to protect it, because everyone is going to be like, how the heck are you going to do this if you're just sitting on your butt all day? You're vacuuming your carpet, you're doing your dishes, you're doing laundry, and you expect this to just get done while you're doing the other things, so because it's not rational. Nothing about Sun conjunct Mercury in Leo is rational. This is spiritual stuff. We're operating in the realm of the spirit right now, and rationale is like a more human type of deal. Okay, it's a very out of balanced thing. Okay, it's very limited. So people are going to look at the fact that this, that you just are seemingly standing still. They don't realize that what's actually happening is that you are crossing over the threshold. They don't see that what's happening is that this death, this transformation, this metamorphosis, and the things that are meant to leave your life, they don't see that that's what's happening. You might not even really see that. We got a double chariot though. It's in motion. Everything is moving. See, most people who are not studying themselves, who are not studying spiritual topics, they're just what you see is what you get. If I can't see it, I don't believe it type of people. And you can just let them be those people because you know better. You know your chariot has shown up for you multiple times and will continue to do so. Look, Virgo season is a mutable season. There is evolution that happens. Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Pisces. These are huge opportunities for development for us. Mutable seasons are what carry us into the next season. So it's a transport time. We get 4 of those a year. We're making our way into the second to last one of them for the year, okay? So be ready. It's not really a matter of choice. The choice is really just one choice, Page of Swords, Ace of Swords, because there's only one choice, right? And it's more just acceptance more than anything. You don't have to do anything about it. The choice is to stay committed and loyal to what your soul is trying to get you to do. Thing is, with this path, it's not hard. I'm going to leave this chariot on top. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not complicated. It's just not rational. Temperance and the 4 of Swords. See this peace, meditation, contemplation, rest and rejuvenate in the face of the 10 of Swords. How many people freak out with that kind of energy? This is exactly why I talked about desperation, because so many people get desperate when the 10 of Swords shows up. 9 and 10 of Swords. This is like their last ditch effort to make something work when they know that it just won't, right? This is the self-deceit. That's what that is. But you're not going to do that because you're going to put down the way you see things because you know you can't necessarily rely upon that right now. Neptune retrograde in Pisces, in the last decan of Pisces nonetheless, right? 22 degrees. So you're just going to stop thinking. Stop planning. Stop trying to fit things into a box. The way we do, humans, the way we do, Here she is, the beautiful high priestess, that knowing. See, it's not that you're not, that's the thing, the preparation. They don't see that you doing the dishes, cleaning your house, sending out the mail, paying the bills. They don't see that that is actually a part of it. 7 of Wands. I also want to put the 7 of Wands here because I feel like that's a really important energy because it's the reminder that you're going to have to deal with other people's opinions. And you're going to have to block yourself from them, and you're going to have to protect yourself from them and not allow yourself to absorb them. See, exactly. And I just happened to see the little corner of the rainbow, and I was like, oh, that's the 10 of Cups, I think. And then I pull it off, and there it was. So right under that 3 of Swords is the 10 of Cups. So now you have the 10 of Coins twice, and you have the 10 of Cups. You cannot go wrong with this strategy. The mundane preparatory things is what is needed of you now. This is what you can do. If you're going to do anything, do this stuff. All right? Here's the unexpected path during a time of suspension. But it's not really suspension, is it? It never really is. It's not really a limbo. It's a time of coming into consciousness. It's an elevation. You're becoming elevated. You're ascending. And you can never expect, especially with the Page of Cups, because I always look at this fish in the cups, and I'm like, I feel like that fish is talking to the page. So the message is going to come from the least likely source. One that you never could have guessed. from the fish. Right? This is going to steal your power. And I think this is someone else, all right, who is almost like trying to shove down your throat that all you have are the 7 of coins. These are your options. Blah. Like, I'm reminded of the story. I don't know. There was kind of an older movie called The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger as like the Joker, like the Batman story. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie or not. But Alfred, at one point, one scene in the movie, Alfred is telling Batman or Bruce Wayne the story of a thief that they were trying to track down, and who was like stealing all the riches and all the jewels from like the king. But eventually he was just throwing them away. Like, he didn't really even want the jewels. He just was like, doing it for the sake of doing it. And Bruce Wayne was like, well, how did you catch the thief? And he's like, well, we burned down the forest. And so that's the thing, is it's like the solution is something that you wouldn't expect. This person is an example of what not to do. And I think you're going to have someone who maybe like at one point and maybe recently you really respected a lot. But I think there's a lot of mirroring going on because we have the 7th house sun. So you are seeing yourself through other people right now. There's a lot of information that you're getting by your relationships, by one-on-one connections. There's a mirroring effect. So you look at this emperor, who is an emperor. You see it. You've always thought they were an emperor. But they seem to be so connected with this 7 of coins. Like they're trying to ram down your throat that those are the only ways. And I think all of a sudden you're going to see them in a different light. And I think you may lose the illusion of who you thought they were a little bit. They become just another human being. They become people. And you realize that maybe you've surpassed them. Because you know what they're telling you isn't true. Because you know that what appears to be 7 is actually 10. That there are coins that are hiding. They're not visible. And you're going to stick to your guns and stick with the 10 because you want the 10. And you may have to go against the authority, Sun opposing Saturn. You may go against the authority because you know best. And you do. You do know best because this is coming from a deep place. Sun with the High Priestess. Chariot again, right? There's victory here. And there's love here. There's safety. There's security here. See, a lot of people are going to get stuck on the 7 because their authority figure tells them the 7. And they're not going to feel safe there. And they're going to, again, the desperation. There it comes. Boom. They're going to cling on to what they can see. Whereas the people who don't are actually much more safe. They're much more secure because their faith has carried them so far and so much farther than this emperor. Okay, there's a lot of grounding. And you don't get distracted. That's the key. Because this chariot, if you get distracted, you're off the chariot like that. Say no to the shiny objects. The little shiny objects that tempt you. Oh, this one I can grab right now. Why would you take something less when you could just wait a little bit and take the whole thing? This is not a time to be greedy. Okay, this is a time to be faithful. How many times can I say it? Faith, faith, faith. I feel like I'm a broken record all the time, talking about faith every single month with every single zodiac sign. But, as human beings, it's hard. And sometimes we do need that reminder. You're safe. And everything that is leaving your life has to leave because there's no room for it here. Only the top priority things can fit in this chariot. Let's do the Queen of Cups. Remember, card of victory. And card of Jupiter, Sagittarius energy. See, it's not about the work. See, exactly. And I had to laugh when I was pulling out these clarifiers because oh my gosh. Sometimes they're just a little too on the nose. Put down the load, put down the burden, put down the stress, put down all this stuff that you have way overloaded yourself, and just sit and wait, because this is a card of waiting for the ships to come in. Here you are preparing space in the warehouse so that when the ships arrive, you have a place to put the stuff. It's weird sometimes to think that housework or errands or paying bills, or it's weird sometimes to think that those kinds of things are actually divine and a part of the plan. This Jupiterian energy tells me that what's on those ships is going to be Jupiterian, meaning it's a lot. It's the 10 and maybe even more than that, because we even have the Lovers here, and the King of Coins. And the awe, that's what this card speaks to me the most about, is just how the heck did that happen? You'll never have believed in miracles until you went through this. You'll really believe in miracles after all of this actually comes to fruition. The only thing that could stop this is limited thinking. And that's within your control. I'm even envisioning I don't know why I'm getting the visual of a design shop or an advertising marketing company. And I'm getting this visual of someone who has all these open projects. And I'm telling you, finish those projects. Don't let anything linger, because there might be a massive client on the way. Okay, that's another way of looking at this whole storyline. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be divine. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be sexy. It's going to be passionate. And it's going to be really a wonderful outlet for your creativity. Keep in mind, this might not happen in August. I'm thinking more Virgo, Libra season, maybe even Scorpio season, since that's 10th house activation. But a lot can happen between Libra and Sagittarius season, especially because we have an eclipse season, right? And we're not necessarily building up to it right now. We're still kind of in the waning phase from the past eclipse. But once we hit into Libra and Scorpio, we'll be in that build-up phase back up to the eclipses. So that's why the eclipse preparatory season, you can use the waning off of the eclipse energy to prepare for the waxing of the eclipse energy, the very first degrees of Sagittarius and Gemini. Okay? I think that's going to take place in November, if I remember, November, December, right? Starts in November. Okay. Couple of oracles. Let's do that. Between worlds. On the nose, the limbo. What did I say? I know. It's an annoying place to be, and I think we find ourselves here more often than not. Unicorn. Invites serendipity. Page of Cups reverse, the kind of fate quality, the perfect synchronization, the unicorn. Exactly. It's going to come from a unicorn or the fish. We're getting these really weird creatures. We're also flamingo right here. Weird creatures showing up. Weird, unique circumstances that will present themselves that will be the key toward all of this. Okay? All right, Aquarius. Big reading. You guys know I love you. Have an amazing August. Please take advantage of it. And I'll see you guys very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.